Hi students, today we are going to discuss about Coulomb's law in electrostatics. So these are the 2 point charges Q1 and Q2. These are the 2 point charges, that means whose magnitude is very small. They are separated by a distance r in air or vacuum. Then there is a electrostatic force between these two charges. This electrostatic force between these two charges is directly proportional to product of two charges. And this electrostatic force between the two charges is inversely proportional to square of the distance between two charges. So this force acts along the line joining between the two charges. That's why this force is also called central force. So what we write here, F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. So F is equal to, by removing the proportionality we put a constant, K into Q1 Q2 by R square. Here the value of K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is called epsilon naught. That epsilon naught is called permittivity of the medium. Epsilon naught is called permittivity of a free space. Permittivity of a free space. Permittivity, that means something it permits. How much the given medium allow the electric lines of force through it. That is nothing but permittivity. How much permission it gives to the electric field lines through it. That is called permittivity. So here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. 9 into 10 to the power of 9. What is the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught? The value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 10 to the power of 9. What is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is nothing but what? Permittivity of the free space. Permittivity means what? Any medium which permits electric field lines through it. It gives the information about medium. What type of information that is? How much electric field lines permits through that medium. Epsilon naught is a constant. Epsilon naught is a constant. It's a numerical value. Its value is nothing but 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square. Coulomb square by Newton meter square. So this is the value of epsilon naught. So this is the expression for the force. That means F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This is the expression between the electrostatic force between the two charges when they are separated in air or vacuum or free space. This is also known as F naught. For example, if the same two charges separated in the same distance other than air or vacuum, then what is the force between these two charges? F dash is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. That means here the force value changes. Here what is the epsilon permittivity of that medium? Permittivity of that medium. That means whenever the medium changes between the two charges, force also changes. Force also changes. So 1 by 2. By doing 1 by 2, we get F naught by F dash is equal to what we write here, Q1 Q2 by R square, Q1 Q2 by R square cancel. Here we write epsilon by epsilon naught. That is equal to epsilon r, that is equal to K. That means the ratio of permittivity of the medium to permittivity of the free space is called relative permeability. Relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. This is also called dielectric constant. This is also called dielectric constant. This is relative permittivity. So, how we can define dielectric constant? It is the ratio of electrostatic force between the two charges in air or vacuum to electrostatic force between the two charges in medium. That is dielectric constant. So, from this discussion, we conclude that the electrostatic force between the two charges depends upon three factors. Number one, what are these three factors? Number one, magnitude of charges. Magnitude of charges. Number two, distance between two charges. Distance between two charges. Distance between charges. Number three, what is number three here? Medium between two charges. Medium between charges. These three factors. That means electrostatic force between the two charges depends upon these three factors. So this law is also called inverse square law. That means what is the statement of this Coulomb's law? The force of attraction or force of repulsion. For example, if these two charges are positive, then there is a force of repulsion. If these two charges are, one is positive and another is negative, then there exists a force of attraction between the two charges. What type of force that is? Electrostatic force. That electrostatic force is directly proportional to product of the two charges, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two charges. This is nothing but inverse square law. By removing the proportionality, F proportionality, we write Q1 Q2 by R square. So F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square. Proportionality is removed. What is the value of K here? K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. K is a constant whose value is equal to how much? 9 10 to the power of 9. Here what is this? Epsilon naught. Epsilon naught means what? It is nothing but it is a numerical value, it is a constant. It is called permittivity of the free space. Permittivity of the free space, air or free space. What is meant by permittivity? Something it permits. What permits? How much electric field lines are passing through particular medium. Okay. So that is nothing but permittivity. It also gives the information between the magnitude of electrostatic force between the two charges. So what is its value? Epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square by Newton meter square. For example, let us assume that these two charges are separated in air or vacuum, then the force exists between them is F naught. F naught is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, that is equation 1. What happens if the medium between the two charges changes? Then definitely there is a change in force. The force is changes, F dash is equal to 1 by 4 pi, this is epsilon, this value changes. What we call here epsilon? Permittivity of the medium, Q1 Q2 by R square. By doing the calculation, F naught by F dash is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. Epsilon r, the ratio of permittivity of the medium to permittivity of the free space, is called relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. So that is equal to K. that is equal to K. Finally, we conclude that the force of attraction or force of repulsion between the 2 point charges separated by certain distance depends upon 3 factors. Number 1, magnitude of charges. Number 2, distance between the charges. Number 3, medium between the charges. This is known as Coulomb's law in electrostatics. Okay, students. Now we are going to write dimensional formula for epsilon naught. This is very, very important. Sometimes asks in entrance examinations. Do you know about dimensional formulas? Please recall those dimensional formulas, how we can write those dimensional formulas in first year. So here epsilon naught is equal to what we write here, Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi FR square, 4 pi FR square. So we know that basic definition charge I is equal to Q by T, Q is equal to IT. In terms of I, here we use A. A means what? Ampere. A means ampere. Please recall, I is equal to Q by T. Q is equal to IT. In some textbooks, in dimension formulas, they write I. Okay, in some textbooks, they write, instead of I, they write A, capital A. So please recall that. Here epsilon naught is equal to Q1, Q2, there are 2 charges. So Q1, that means AT. A means ampere. What are the units of electric current? Ampere. So again another charge, AT divided by. Sometimes in some textbooks they write IT. Okay, 4 pi. The dimensional formula for the constant, that is nothing but 1. No dimensional formulas. Force mLT power minus 2. This is the dimensional formula. R square, distance square, L square. L square. So doing the calculation here, A into A square, T into T square. Okay, here L into L square. How much? L cube. T to the power of minus 2. Okay, bring this T to the power of minus 2 upper side. That is equal to T square. So here m power 1, that is equal to m power minus 1. If we bring that m to the numerator, it becomes m to the power of minus 1. And also L into L square, here L cube. So if this L cube bring to the numerator, then it becomes L to the power of minus 3. So finally we got what here? M minus 1 A square T to the power of 4 L power minus 3. So this is the dimensional formula for permittivity. To discuss Coulomb's law in vector form. In previous class we discussed Coulomb's law in scalar form. Now we are going to discuss Coulomb's law in vector form. Let us assume that 2 charges Q1 and Q2 in xy plane. So the position of the first charge with respect to origin is R1. R1 is the position vector. This is the origin. And the position of second charge with respect to origin is here. R2 is the position vector of Q2. And they are separated by certain distance. Here F21 means what? Force on second charge with respect to first charge along this direction. These are the 2 positive charges. So there is a repulsion force is acting on the charge Q2. that is F21, that is along this direction. F12, force on first charge due to second charge, along this direction. And here R12, position of 1 with respect to 2 along this direction. So here F12 bar and R12 bar both are in same direction. Now the magnitude of electrostatic force on charge Q1 with respect to 2. How we can write magnitude of F12, force on 1 due to 2, is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 whole square, or R12 whole square. So we write here in vector form. So we write F12 bar is equal to magnitude of F12 into R12 cap. Here already I told you F12 and R12 vectors are in same direction, so that their unit vectors are same. So we can write like this: F12 bar is equal to mod F12 into R12 cap. So we know that in first year A cap is equal to A bar by mod A, unit vector. So R12 cap is equal to R12 bar divided by mod R12, that vector divided by magnitude of that vector. We know the triangle law in first year. First two sides taken in order, third side taken in reverse order. From triangle law, here R2 plus R12 is equal to closing side R1. That means R1 bar. So here R12 bar is equal, what we write here, R1 bar minus R2 bar. Right. Substitute this value in this equation. So F12 bar is equal to mod F12, that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 whole square. R12 means what? R1 bar minus R2 bar whole square into here R12 cap. R12 cap means what? R12 bar by mod R12. That means R1 bar minus R2 bar divided by mod R1 bar minus R2 bar. Direct step. F12 bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, here Q1 Q2 divided by R1 bar minus R2 bar whole square into R1 bar minus R2 bar. That is equal to what we write here, R1 bar minus R2 bar whole cube into R1 bar minus R2 bar. That is vector form of force acting on first charge due to the second charge. Here we notice that F12 bar is equal minus F21 bar. That means how much force is acting on the charge Q1 by the charge Q2. Same amount of force is acting on charge Q2 by the charge Q1. That means both the magnitudes are same, but the forces directions are opposite. F12 bar is equal to minus F21 bar. So similarly, we can write F21 bar. That means force acting on the charge Q2 by the charge Q1 along this direction. Similarly, we write 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R2 bar minus R1 bar whole cube into R2 bar minus R1 bar. So this is known as a vector form of Coulomb's law. But here one important point you have to remember is the forces acting in opposite directions, but magnitudes are same. This is about vector form of Coulomb's law. Sometimes in entrance examinations they ask problems in vector form also. So this is useful for doing the problems. Okay, right.